Hey guys, Keith here. Today I have something special I'm going to share with you. Okay, we are going to discuss notes in respect to plant property and equipment. Right, that's what we are going to discuss today. With regards to the notes, guys, you know that this is one of the most difficult concepts that most students find hard to understand, right? But what I've done today, it's so wonderful. I've made it so easy for you guys to understand. Okay, I have simplified it, and you are going to be amazed how much this is so easy as you make these notes. Okay, and what's important, guys, is I have shown you in practice how to apply the 3-step formula. Okay, number 1, I've shown you how to make the calculations. Number 2, I've shown you how to reference those calculations correctly. Number 3, I have taken the layout, which you are supposed to memorize, and just plug values into that layout. Okay, so you will see the 3-step formula in action, and I can tell you one thing: this is going to change your life. Okay, guys, so I hope you're as excited as I am. Let's jump in and get started. Okay. Today we're going to do statement of financial position. We're going to do question 2.4, sorry. I just want to pull out the question so we can start discussing the question. Yes, that is a question there. Statement of financial position. Let me pull out the question. Oh, wonderful. It's question 2.4. We're supposed to spend no more than 36 minutes on the question, and you see it's pretty packed. Okay, let me just read what it says. It says the following information was obtained from the accounting records of T Super and B-Men Trading as Superman Traders. Nice name. So number 1, we have a list of balances. Okay, as you can see, there's a list of balances. I'll mark it off. All this, it's a list of balances. Okay, all the way down there. Okay, that's a list of balances. And then number 2, it's additional information. That's number 2 there, additional information. Okay, we go to the next page. Okay, there's the next page. Still additional information. Wonderful. And we're gonna jump right into what's required. Okay, we need to know what is required. Wonderful. So we need to know what is required. So we need to know what is required. Okay, it says here, with regard to the Superman traders, it's 2.1. Prepare the statement of financial position as at 28 Feb 2011. That's the first thing we should do. And then the second thing we should do is prepare only the note in respect to property, plant, and equipment. The total column can be omitted. Okay, wonderful. So, like I said, guys, I'm committed to showing you the easiest way to answer your questions. And I don't want to complicate your lives and give you too much information that you don't need. I have only one objective here: to help you guys pass, and that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So, this is how you can answer this question easy. You can start first with 3.2. You'll see why. Start first doing 3.2. Okay. And then once you're done, you see 3.1 is easy. Okay, it's easy, but also because 3.2 has more marks. So like I said in my Pareto analysis, always focus to where there are more marks first. While your brain is fresh and you feel, you're into it, and your mind is working at its full capacity, you want to invest that energy in what's really going to give you a good return. Okay, wonderful. So I'm gonna go to the next to the other side of the question. Yeah, here. Okay, I'm gonna come this side. I just want to remove my markings here. Okay, yeah, they're all gone. The first thing I do always, I start with additional information, because that's where I have to do all the adjustments. Okay, that's where I'm gonna start. So we'll start with we'll start with 2.1. So, like I said, I'm gonna first start with the notes for the property, plant, and equipment. And like I always say, know the layout. I cannot help you with that. So I'm just gonna pull out the layout and just plug values into it. Okay, this, what you see now here, you should know this by heart. I cannot help you with that. Okay, this you should know by heart. Okay, I just want to make it bigger so everybody can see, you know. This you should know by heart. Okay, wonderful. So now I'm going to start with this first, and then we'll move to the first question once we're done. Okay, so the first adjustment says land and buildings consist of land, ERF mid-rent. It was bought on the 1st of March 2008 for 900,000. Okay, and if you remember on our layout, the first thing is the carrying amount at the beginning of the year. Okay, I just want to explain that a little bit, because I know this question is making a lot of people unhappy, because lots of people are confused. So look at this part, beginning of the year. Right, very important. So when I go back to our questions, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. If you look at our financial statement, sorry, our balances, our list of balances, I think. Yes. If you look at our list of balances, do you see what's written there? As at 28 Feb 2011. Okay. So that means your balances, it's from the beginning, wherever it starts, until the 28th of Feb. But does not necessarily always include what you had at the beginning of the year, meaning at the beginning of 28 Feb. Okay, sorry, excuse my spelling. At the beginning of 28 Feb 2010. That's what we're referring to when it's in the beginning of the year. We're saying 28 Feb 2010. So we're more interested in what properties did the partnership own, okay, at the beginning of 28 Feb 2010. Makes sense? So as you can see that they do put dates on the trial balances to show you, or this could also mean, or okay, the 1st March 2010. Okay, so that's what we're interested in. We're interested in how the property that the company owned on those dates, or before those dates. But after that date, it does not apply. Okay, unless we don't have the information to imply that it was after that date. We'll make some assumptions on that. Okay, let's go back to our. Okay, so we need to know the land and buildings at the beginning of the year. Hopefully it makes sense now. Okay, so if you go to our trial balance, we'll look at land and buildings. Okay, sorry, we first started at our additional information. So this property was bought on the 1st of March 2008. Okay, and what's our date of interest? 2010. Okay. The building was erected during the year. The cost of 600,000 was occupied on the 1st of January 2011. Okay. So what we do here, right? What we need to do here is we'll take, I'll put it up here just to save space. We know that we had 1.5 million, right? We know that much. We had 1.5. You know, after the beginning of the year, that's what we end up with. And we also do know that during the year, okay, so we do know that no, sorry, we don't need to do the calculations, because they're showing it to us here that on the 1st of March which is way before 2009, 900,000, right? Like I said, 2010. So we know that before Feb 2011, the partnership had a vacant landfill and they bought it for 900,000. Right? So that's why I'm putting it there. I hope it makes sense, guys. Okay. Sorry, actually it's supposed to come here under cost. Okay. And then we need to find the depreciation for that year. How much was it? Okay. So the next question is, did we have depreciation on our property? We'll look through it. As you can see on here that there was no depreciation. You see that? There was no depreciation. And nothing is mentioned of depreciations. The only depreciation is buildings. Make sense of that. It's buildings. It's not land. So land does not depreciate. So we do know that our depreciation is 0. So that means our carrying amount is normal cost minus depreciation is 900,000. Okay, wonderful. Okay, we're done there. Let's go to 2.2. On the 30 Feb, equipment with a cost price of 35,000 was sold at a loss. Okay, so I'll come back to that. I first want to know the carrying amount. Okay, at the beginning of the year for equipment. Okay, I want to know the carrying amount for the equipment now. How much the company have at the beginning of the year and the depreciation. So I want to see under additional information, are they saying anything about it? Okay, I know equipment was sold sometime during the year, so it does not apply for what I'm looking for now. Okay, so I'm looking around this, nothing there, right? Okay, so if there's nothing, my assumption will go to what's on the trial balance. So equipment, it's 280, right? So don't forget, let me show you something very important. I'm gonna call this workings number 1. I'm gonna call this workings number 1. Insert. Okay, insert symbol. Okay, number 1. Okay. What I know is on my trial balance, equipment is 280, right? 280,000. That is at the end or towards the end of the year, and I want to know the value at the beginning of the year. So I know that I need to add the equipment that was sold, which happened during the year. I want to know the value. Let's see what was sold. Okay, so on the 30th of November, remember the year of my interest is 28 Feb or 1st of March. Anything after that, it's during the year. So I need to, the equipment was sold which cost 35,000, right? So I need to add 35,000 here because at the beginning of the year it was not sold yet. So I'm trying to determine how much did the partnership have at the beginning of the year. So it will be 280,000 plus 35,000 equals to 315,000. 315,000. Right? Wonderful. So let me go up. It comes here. Put in workings number 1. And then to be 315,000. Depreciation still applies also. Okay, so depreciation, let's go back. Depreciation was 12,080, right? We'll call it workings number 2, where we calculate the depreciation. Okay, working number 2. We know the depreciation was for the equipment that was sold. Let's first go for the depreciation on the trial balance. Okay, come on. Okay, for the equipment. Okay, there's it there. Here's it here. It's 80,000. So it will be 80,000. Okay, plus the equipment that was sold. It was what? 12,060. 12,060 equals to, can we get that? It's 80,000 plus 12,060 equals to 92,060. Nice. Okay, that's workings number 2, where we calculate the depreciation for the equipment at the beginning of the year. Please understand that part. That's why we're adding back the equipment we sold, because at the beginning of the year it was not sold yet. Okay, so that's workings number 2. And then how much was it? It was 92,060. Okay, 1,060. Okay, let's go back to our trial balance. Where is it? Yeah, if you go to our trial balance, do you see this one here? I think they put it here to confuse you. Do you see it here? The depreciation equipment as at 13 November 2010. Okay, it's 1,860. We also need to add that, because our date of interest, we know that we're looking for before the 28th of Feb, and that was after, so we need to add it back. Okay, so we need to add 1,860. Okay, plus 1,860 equals to 93,920. Okay, so it's 93,920. I need to plug it in. Okay, 93,920. Okay, so far so good. Okay, okay, my mistake. We need to subtract it because it was a depreciation that was accumulated during the year. So at the beginning it did not accumulate it yet. So 1,860 minus 1,060. Come on, man. Technology, the joys of technology. Okay, I don't know, it's getting upset about something. Okay, so the answer I'm getting is 90,200. Okay, let me explain that 1,860. The 1,860 is the depreciation that was accumulated during the year. Okay, it's not a depreciation like the one for 12,060 that was there. Then, you know, the equipment was sold, right? And the equipment depreciated that much before the year started. Okay, but it was subtracted out of our trial balance because the equipment was sold. And then the 1,860, it's what our equipment depreciated to during the year. Okay, and what we're trying to determine now is the depreciation at the beginning of the year. That's why I'm subtracting it. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so it's 90,200. Okay, it's 90,200. Okay, let's go to the vehicles. Okay, on the vehicles, I also need to find the cost of all our vehicles at the beginning of the year. Okay, so normally I will start at the additional information. Do we have anything on vehicles here? Let's go to the other page. Okay, there's nothing here. Okay, then I need to go back to our trial balance and look for anything that talks about our vehicles. Here's it, it's 170,000. Okay, we need to look for other places. You saw what happened last time, that when you assume that's the only place, always look for anything on vehicles. Don't take it that long. Then you see there's nothing else. So then we go, and then we know that the cost of our vehicles, as far as we know, it's 170,000. Okay, 170,000, and then if we need to find the depreciation. Okay, let me go back to my trial balance. Depreciation is 24,000. Okay, because as far as we know, we did not sell or get any extra vehicles during the year, so it's 24,000. 24,000. 24,000. Okay, then you can just put the totals up there. Okay, let me do that quickly. So it's I need to bracket this to show that it's a negative. Nice. And it's 315,000 minus 90,200. It's giving me 224,800. Then also here applies, it's 170,000 minus 24,000. It's giving me 146,000. Okay, the same applies here. It's 900,000. Okay, it's 900,000 plus 224,800 plus 146,000. It's giving me 1.27 million. 1,270,000. Okay. It's giving me 1,270,000. Okay. And then same applies here. It's 900,000 plus 315,000 plus 170,000. It's giving me 1,385,000. Okay. Then depreciation, it's 90,200 plus 24,000. It's giving me 114,200. Bracket that. Now depreciation. So we've done everything for the beginning of the year. Now the next question is, what happened during the year? Did we buy equipment? Did we sell equipment? Okay, or anything, vehicles or land or stuff. Do you remember at the beginning of our additional information, we learned something important there? the building was erected during the year, it cost 600,000. So something was added for 600,000, right? Something was added. A building was added for 600,000. 900,000 was for the piece, for the land, and then they put a building in for 600,000. Okay, so that makes sense. And then what else? Okay, so this is done. Let's move down. Now additional information. Okay, on the 30 Feb 2010 equipment with a cost price of 35,000 was sold at a loss of 3,000. Okay, so we know that equipment was sold, right? And what we need to put into our notes for the property plant, okay, we need to be able to account for that. All right, for the equipment that was sold. So it's 35,000. That was the price, minus the depreciation. Then we get the book value, and that's what we need to put in our books. We need to put in the book value of the equipment that was sold. Okay, and then the profit side of it, you know, whether we made profit or we made a loss, that will be taken care of in the profit or loss statement. Here we're not interested in the profit per se. We just want to declare the cost, the value of all our equipment. Okay, so we said the equipment was 35,000, right, minus the depreciation, which was 12,060, and then that gives us the book value of the equipment. Okay, let me calculate that. It's 35,000 minus 12,060. It's giving me 22,940. That's the book value of our equipment. Okay, 22,950. So I need to put that under disposals, meaning disposal stuff that we got rid of. It's a nice name. So that's workings number 3, which gives me 22,000. Okay, 940. Easy, guys. So disposals, stuff that we sold, additions, stuff that we added during the year. Okay, wonderful. Now let's move on, and then we need to find something on vehicles. Okay, so I think we are done here. Depreciation must still be provided. We'll do that once we calculate depreciation for the year. For the year ended, which is the current year that we focused on. And then inventory consists of, we don't need that for now. And then the long-term loan amount transferred. Okay, so it looks like we're done with additions, just that small part that we have to go back to. Okay, let's go to our trial balance. Then vehicles, anything on vehicles? I just want to see if I can mark off anything on vehicles. Okay, so vehicles. Nothing happened during the year. We did not sell any. We did not buy any. Still the same. So it on our notes, you see you've put dashes there to mean, you know, we didn't add anything on our equipment. There's a dash there. We didn't add anything on our vehicles. We didn't sell any vehicles, so that's why you see all those dashes there. Okay, and then now we need to calculate the depreciation for the year. Okay, so now start with property. We need to go back to our trial balance where they show us how to calculate it. They said buildings is 2% per annum with the straight line balance method. So that's a very easy one. 2% per annum. So let's do the workings. Let me see if I can fit everything in here so we don't go to the next page. It always takes more time to move up and down. Okay, so we put workings number 4. Number 4. Okay, so we know that we built that land for 600,000, right? Times that by is it 2% per annum? 2% per annum times that by 2%. Then we get our depreciation. 600,000 times 2%. It's giving me 12,000. Working number 4. Okay. Okay, let me see that. 600,000 times 2%. Alright. So that's working number 4. Okay. Times, because we bought equipment during the year, we didn't buy it at the beginning, we bought it in the middle, if you remember correctly. So just need to find out when did we buy it, because here it says that we bought it from the 1st of Jan 2011, and what's our year of interest? It's 28 Feb 2011. So yeah, 1st of Jan 2011. So let me do that. Okay, just do that. 1st of Jan 2011 to 31st of Jan, no, to the 31st of Feb 2011, which gives me 2 months. Right, gives me 2 months, so that will be times 2/12. Okay, so it will be 600,000 times 2% times 2/12. It's going to give me 2,000. Okay, so that's workings number 4. So depreciation for the year is 2,000. Okay, 2,000. So let's go to equipment now. So as far as we know, we sold equipment. So it's gonna become interesting. But as far as we know, that's what we did. So we need to account for that when we do the when we calculate the depreciation. So this, we shouldn't also forget this thing here, that we already calculated the depreciation, right, for something, for one of the equipments for the year. We should also add that it's already calculated. So what we need to do, we need to subtract out, we need to take out the equipment sold and get the depreciation for that. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. So it's gonna be, let's go back to our trial balance. It's gonna be the equipment. Okay. Equipment. It's gonna be 280 minus 80,000. All right. So it's gonna be workings number 5. Okay. Let's write number 5 there. 280,000 minus the depreciation for the year. Right. Then you times that by 10%. Okay. And then you add the depreciation that they gave us. It's 1,860. Okay. This depreciation here, okay, my assumption is that it's a depreciation for the equipment that was sold, because it was not sold by the beginning of the year, so it did depreciate somehow during the year, so that's why we're adding it there. Okay, it's going to be 280,000. Okay, minus 80,000 times 10%, right, plus 1,860. It's giving me 21,860. Workings number 5. 21,860. Working number 5. 21,860. Working number 5. 1,860. Okay. Wonderful. And then we need to calculate the depreciation for that. Okay, now we need to calculate the depreciation for the vehicles. So as far as we know, we have not sold any vehicles, so we're not supposed to have a problem there. So let's go. Okay, vehicles. I need to go to the next page. It's 20% per annum. Straight line method. Straight line method is always nice to work with. Less stress. Okay, so we're gonna do workings number 6 now. Looks like I have to go to the next page. Workings number 6. Number 6. So I need to find the cost minus the cost. That's all I need. Go to the next page. What is the cost of my vehicles? Okay, as you can see, it was 170,000. So it's gonna be 170,000 times 20% equals to, let me calculate that, it's 170,000 times 20% is giving me 34,000. Straightforward. So I need to plug that in. It's workings number 6. Okay, it's 34,000. That's 34,000. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So this must all be bracketed because that's depreciation. Okay, so we need to bracket that. Okay, it's a negative. Bracket that. Okay, bracket that. Okay, wonderful. And bracket that also. I forgot to put the workings here. That will cost me if that answer is wrong. Bracket the 2,000, and then also put workings number 4. It's number 4. Okay, so you guys can see it's not that hard. You just have to know what goes where, that's all. But this tend to be confusing most times. But if you do show your workings, even if you make a mistake, you still get good marks on it. Okay, workings number. Okay, so we have it there. Then I'm not gonna put the totals yet. I don't think you're gonna have a problem doing them. You've seen how I did the first one, so it's very straightforward. I'm just gonna get the other things in place. So the next thing is to find your land and buildings, the carrying amount. Okay, there's it there. No, sorry, the cost. That's the next thing. You need to find the cost. Okay, once you have the cost, you can also find the depreciation. Okay, then the difference will give you the carrying amount. Okay, or sometimes you'll see we'll get the carrying amount, so that because it will be too complex for us to get the depreciation, so we'll get the carrying amount and the cost, and we can work out the depreciation. Okay, so let's start with land and buildings. I'm just gonna put this as workings also, just for your sake, so that it doesn't confuse you. I know it tends to confuse students from time to time. Okay, now we need to find the cost for the year ended, the cost at the end of the year for the land and buildings. Okay, now that's easy, because then you add your carrying amount at the beginning of the year minus the depreciation plus the additions, right? And that will give us 600,000 plus 900,000 to give us 1.5 million. Okay, that's straightforward. Depreciation, we know we only have one. It's that 2,000 there. There's that 2,000 there. Okay. Like I said, I'm not going to do the totals. Those are easy. You can figure them out. And then the next thing is we need to find, no matter what I will do here, I will get the carrying amount, which will come up here first. I'll get that first, and then I'll get the cost, and then you see it will be easy to work out the depreciation. Okay, that's supposed to work out very nicely. Okay, so the cost it's going to be the cost price at the beginning of the year, right? Which not also, let's say the carrying amount at the beginning of the 224,800, right? It's gonna be 224,800. Okay, so don't forget that we sold a piece of equipment. We did sell a piece of equipment during the year. We also need to account for that. Okay, so what I will calculate first is the carrying amount, which is easy to calculate. It will be 224,800, okay, minus 22,940 minus 21,860. I'll get the carrying amount, which is 180,000. That's very easy to calculate. Okay, so I take my carrying amount minus the additions minus the depreciation for the year. I know how much I'll have at the end of the year. It's 180. Okay, that's very easy to calculate. Okay, and then the next thing I will do is I'll get the cost. Okay, because I do know that my carrying amount minus the cost must give me the depreciation. Okay, and then if I go to my trial balance, I think that's where you find the answer. Go to my trial balance. Equipment. Okay, let's go to equipment. Do you see what's the cost of my equipment? It's at the end of the year, it's 280. Do you see it? So that's how I know that I must put 280 there. The and then that minus that gives me depreciation. That's how I calculate it, because it's the easiest way to get to it. Okay, then we go to the last part. Okay, so same thing applies. You can get your cost, right? It's very easy to calculate, right? So your cost price, because what happened here, you didn't do much during the year, right? You didn't sell anything, you didn't do anything, so your cost price will stay the same. Okay, and then you know your depreciation will be 24,000 plus 34,000, which will give you 58,000. Sorry, 58,000 bracketed. Okay, and then that plus that will give you your carrying amount, which is 11200. Easy. Okay, which is 112,800. And then I can just add the totals. Like here, you know, it's 600,000. Okay, come down here. Okay, it's the only 122 bracketed. 22, 940. You come down here. Okay, you add all those. Okay, it will give you 57 bracketed, 57, 860. Then you add all those. Right? You can add all those. This one is how much? Can you put, since I'm putting them down, let me try to put it down here. It's gonna be 1.5 million. Minus 2,000. It's gonna give me 1.498 million. Okay. Right. So it's gonna give me 1.5 million, which with added with those guys at the bottom, it's gonna be 1.5 million. I'm sorry, 1.49800 plus. Okay, it's gonna give me 17. Then this one is going to be 1.5 million plus 280,000 plus 170,000. Just give me 1,950,000. And then this one, okay, it's going to be 2,000 plus 100,000. Plus 58,000. It's 160,000. Sorry, let me bracket it. 160,000. There you are. Done. Okay. So it's very easy. I don't think it's that tough. The only tough thing is determining the depreciations. They're always a headache, and the additions and the disposals. But you just have to know, understand it. Don't try to cram it into, I don't think it's possible. Understand how everything, fits into this thing. Memorize the layout, and I think if you do that, don't try to get everything 100%. Try to get most marks, and you'll be fine. Okay, I think so. So Thank you once again, guys, for your time, and I hope this really helps you pass.